Hey everybody, this is going to be about probably the second to the last one on the Get Rich series, okay? This whole series was just, I wanted to give people an insight on what it takes to start building wealth. So these are some of the principles that I follow. More than likely, these are going to be things that I've talked to other people. I have no problem saying, hey, I would like to be where you're at. Tell me what you did to get there, so to speak. I'm not the sharpest tool in the shed, but I'm smart enough to know that when I don't know, go ask some questions. And I have no problem with you knowing that I don't know, okay? I don't have any ego with that. A lot of people, man, I just can't believe this and everything. And then some people are like, how'd you even get here? And it's like, I just took action. That's what I did. I took action. You know, I heard somebody a couple months ago say, man, I've been researching this real estate thing and everything like that, and I'm getting close and everything, and I'm like, well, how long have you been doing this for? And they're like, oh, about 2 years. I was like, what the hell more do you need to know? 2 years? What answers are you looking for? Well, and I said, no, the problem you got is you ain't willing to pull the trigger. Yep, there's Tyson. That's a security dog right there. Yeah, he heard trigger. He set him off. That's it, exactly. So, get him, boy. And you gotta love it. This is Redneck Filming 101, okay? So, the thing about it is that you got to take action, and hopefully these will be some things to get you thinking and everything. And the biggest thing is one, educate yourself. Number 2, take some action. Do something, and fail. Failing because of action is much better than sitting out and not doing anything any day of the week, okay? Because guess what? Every time you get up, you swing the bat, you might hit a home run. But never has a home run ever been hit out of the dugout in man's recorded history. If it is, prove me I'm wrong. Again, I don't mind saying, hey, I was incorrect. I didn't know. But there has been somebody. Ain't happened. I ain't found it yet. Nobody's come back to me and said, hey, Rob, you're wrong. So here we go. All right. First thing we're going to talk about, basically you're going to be able to build wealth only 3 different ways. You're going to invest in stocks, you're going to start a business, or you're going to do real estate. And starting a business is kind of like, the stock market as well, or owning a business, okay? So we get involved in stocks. What's a stock? A stock is we pay for a portion of a company, okay? A lot of different things affect the price. I'm not going to get into that, but basically we'll just say, like, if you buy shares, UPS, okay, you're buying a piece of that company. Do you have the right to go in and say, hey, I want to use my truck because I'm a stockholder? Nah, but you do own part of it, okay? Thing about it is that basically they work 2 different ways, okay? You have stock that you buy and the price hopefully will keep going up and you get paid a dividend, quarterly, maybe monthly, maybe yearly, I don't know, depends on how it's set up and everything. And you can take that check, put it in your pocket, you pay taxes on it, or you reinvest it into the company, but you still pay taxes on it, okay? So what we call capital gains, all right? The thing about it is, it takes, usually the dividends are not that great of a return in the sense that, generally speaking, most of the time it's, 6 to 8% is normally what you're going to see. Does that outrun inflation? Yes, it does. Absolutely. Okay. Now, if you don't like getting into stocks per se, because you don't want to pick one, you can get into what we call a mutual fund. What's a mutual fund? It's like some dude, okay, they call him a fund manager. He picks 500 different stocks or something like that. You buy into it, and what he does is he takes all the money from others and he goes and he buys these different stocks, okay? So some of them might go up, some of them might go down, some of them might stay steady across the board and everything like that, and that's why we have mutual, more than one, okay? And so if you have, say like you put all your money in GE and then GE takes a tank and everything loses, $100 a share, 50 a share, whatever, then you got problems. But on a fund, generally speaking, it's a little more steady. You're not going to have these, ooh, like that, you know, but it's a steady climb, so to speak, and everything. So it kind of takes the picking and choosing out of your hands and everything, so you don't need to have that. That's an excellent way. If I was in my 20s with what I know today, I would be heavy into mutual funds coming up and everything like that, because it's a great way to build wealth. Me personally, kind of started late in the game, so I don't have the time that it would take to make the wealth that I want, like somebody that does in their early 20s, okay? So then, there's AIM. Bonds, okay? You hear junk bond, you hear this bond, you hear that bond. We're not talking about James Bond, but bonds. Bonds are issued when you loan money, okay? They're going to have ratings to them. The worse the rating, generally speaking, the higher the return, because the less likely you are to get paid back. Hello? Now, you'll see a lot of these that are called municipality bonds or city bonds or something of that nature. And a lot of times it'll be like it says, okay, well, we want to build a civic center, and so we're going to issue, $50 million in bonds. So they put these bonds out, and they say, okay, well, you give us the money in 3 to 5 years, we're going to pay you back X number of dollars. And that's how bonds work, okay? Next thing, business. Start a business. You can buy a hot dog cart, you can start a hot dogs, you can, I had a friend of mine came to me one time, one of the first people I ever coached, said, look man, I can't make it to the end of the month on the money that I make. You always seem to do real well with money, help me out. Okay. So we sat down, we looked at his finances, looked at his spending, okay, looked at his income, looked at his outcome, his outgo, all right? And the thing that I found is that it basically is he was not living extravagant or anything, he just wasn't making enough money. And I asked the guy, I said, let me ask you this, man, if you could do, what is it that you would love to do for a living? And he said, I'd like to cook for people. And I was like, well, tell me what that looks like. He says, man, I said, is that a restaurant? And, how many tables does it have and everything? He said, no, it doesn't. I said, well, what does it look like? He said, I want a place that's like a cafeteria, but it's takeout only. You come by on your way home, pick up dinner, and each night of the week is going to have a different meal. I get it. I like it. I think there's a need for that. Absolutely. I said, how much do you think something like that would cost? Well, probably at minimum $100,000. And I said, no, it doesn't. What if I told you could do that for $800? What? And there ain't no way. I said, oh, yes, there is. Tell me, Rob. I said, start cooking out of your house. What do you mean? I said, you know enough people advertise on your days off that you're, send out an email at 8 a.m. in the morning, hey, I'm going to make these lunches. Would you like one? It's $8 or $12, whatever the meal is for the day. Put it out, see how many people want it, cook them, and then go deliver them. Dude started making a killing. And hey man, I never even thought about this. I thought I would need to do it on this level and that level and everything. I said, you can get there, okay, that's for sure. But this is grassroots right here, man. This is all 4 burners going on the stove at one time. This is how businesses get started. It's rare that somebody starts up and has got that big fat checkbook, $100,000, $1 million, $10 million to be able to stroke checks from and everything like that. That's how these places usually start, is somebody starts on their stove. Word gets out. Word got out. He made his sausage stuffing for Thanksgiving that was killer. People would order it 2 weeks in advance. The guy would spend 5 hours from like 5 a.m. to 10 a.m. cooking, and then the rest of the day was spent delivering. He was making bank, okay? That's having to do with the business. Now, maybe you don't want to do that. I get it. Maybe you got $150,000, $200,000 sitting around and everything. You decide, hey, I want to buy a Subway. I want a Subway franchise. So then you find one. The numbers make sense. Always research before you go buying a business, okay? Look at the financials. Look at what they're paying taxes on. okay? And have an accountant, unless you are an accountant by trade, go have an accountant look at their books and everything. And look at the books to make sure that the inventory that they're ordering, okay, makes sense with how much is going out. Because if that doesn't, then you know there's a problem. Because a lot of times, and we call it cooking the books. Hello, Enron. You got to be my age to remember that. But what I'm saying is that if they're not accurately reporting, that book could look really good because they're trying to get it sold. So they want it to look better for an investor. So here's the thing is you can buy a business. You can start a business, okay? Now this is my favorite one right here. The big R with the big E, estate. Real estate. Number of different ways to make money with that. You can buy it and you can hold it, okay? Sometimes it'll appreciate 20% a year, 30% a year, it could be 5 years. But it'll go up in value generally speaking, okay? Not always, and don't ever buy for appreciation. Unless you know something's coming that way, don't do it. It's bad mojo, all right? Or you can buy like single family homes like I have done, and then you buy them in need of repairs, you put some money into them, you get them rented out. I got the monthly income, I got the appreciation of it going up in value each month, and then I've got an asset that's worth more money than what I put into it, so then I can get a loan against it and get my money and put it in my pocket, and that's non-taxable because it's considered to be debt because now you're paying it back. So then I can take this and I can buy another property and do that again, okay? And that's just one way, having to do with real estate. You know, one of the things that I did was I was in partners with a person, we bought a house on a piece of property, decided to bulldoze it, knocked it down, then put a container on it, shipping container, they call it a shipping container on there, renting it out. That shipping container pays $200 a month for that piece of property. You figure 2 years, that's $5,000 almost. And guess what goes wrong with a shipping container? Virtually nothing. It will rust away in 20 or 30 years, but hello, you've gotten all your money back plus some, okay? So I'm real big on anything that I can buy one time, okay? And then I get continuously paid every month. Month in, month out. Month in, month out. I get a payment. Oh, yep, first of the month's coming, it's 22nd, 8 days, whoop, got a payment. Yep, that's it. That's what I'm talking about. That's building wealth. Money is being rich. You can have $3 million sitting in the bank, okay? But if you ain't making no money with it, what? It's losing and you're going broke. Going broke quicker than what you realize, all right? So now I'm going to get into this part of it because you know how you got the basics on how to make money and how to get richer. Now this is the next strategy that you need to do. First one, wealth accumulation. That's what we're doing. We're out stacking cash. We're getting that money, we're stacking it. We got a plan, we're going to do something. You might be doing monthly deposits into a mutual fund. You might be putting money up for 20% down on a piece of rental property. I don't know what that's going to be, what it's going to for you, but you're doing wealth accumulation, okay? If you're in your early 20s and say like you decided, hey, I want to go ahead and do, get involved with stock market or a crypto or something of that nature and everything like that, you can afford to take risks because over the long haul, if you're 20, the chance that you may get it to your 60 is great. That's 40 years. You can see some ups and downs over 40 years, okay? If you're in your 50s or we'll say 40s and you're going to start trying to do this game and everything, wealth preservation is going to be a concern, to be a factor. What I mean by this is that easiest thing you're ever going to do is make money. Second, the hardest thing you're ever going to do is hold on to it and make it work for you. Trust me on that. I have met so many people that have been multimillionaires and don't have a pot to piss in because it all went away. The reason that it did was they never stopped to start putting any money away into something to produce wealth, okay? Buddy of mine, his daughter just finished school. She works at a vet. He told me, he said, Rob, she got a $20,000 a year raise. Her husband works for the phone company, makes good scratch, so they're probably both bringing in 120 to 150,000 a year. I sent her a message. I said, hey, congratulations on your raise. That's awesome. That's real good and everything. Now, do me a favor. Get 20 grand cash. Put it in a savings account. Put it in your mattress, somewhere that you can get to it. Then get 10 grand and put it in your pocket where nobody knows about it. Just in case something happens. Second thing is, start putting your money to work for you. Do not put it in a bank in excess of what I've already told you to do. Put it in something that pays at least 6% or better so that you're outrunning inflation. Right now, guess what? If you ain't making any money, you lost. You have lost money this year because inflation has gone up more than 8% virtually all the way across the board. Things are going to get a lot worse, folks. I don't think they're getting better, and the prices are not going to come down. You know, I remember like when I quit smoking cigarettes, okay? I was a 3-pack-a-day smoker. I quit like 20, 22 years ago. They had not reached $25 a carton just yet, all right? At 3 packs a day, you know I had a payment that was almost like a car payment, or cigarette habit that was almost like a car payment, okay? And there's nothing better than strong black coffee and some Marlboros in the morning. That's better than 8 ball of Coke. I'm like, hello world, what do you want? Let's do it, yeah! Okay, so here's the thing. When I quit that, okay, and I started realizing how much money I was actually saving and not putting away. And then all of a sudden it dawned on me, said, man, you would have a nice retirement if you had done that, you know. And I told my buddy's daughter, in the message that I sent her, I said, look, you need to start investing. There's no reason that you should not be a millionaire by the time you're 40 years old with the amount of money that you all make. And the thing about it is that, and I even suffer from this myself, because I say, hey, look, once I get this big, chunk of money from like a refinance on a property and everything, I'm saying, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to get rims for this. I'm going to spend money on this. I'm going to build a deck and everything like that. Well, guess what? That's the exact same way that the poor people think. When I get this money, I got it spent. You talk to a rich person and they say, as soon as I get this business sold, I'm going to take this money, I'm going to invest it over here, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this 1031 exchange, I'm going to save on taxes, I'm going to do that. They already have it planned out how they're going to put that money back into action and start making more money. And if you don't find yourself doing that, ask yourself why. Why not? The thing about it is, wealth preservation. The easiest thing to do is make money. The hardest thing to do is to make it work for you and to hold on to it, okay? Poor people are worried about the return on the investment that they get. Wealthy people ask, what's the likelihood of the return of my investment, and then how much money can I make? If you look at any of the major banking institutions in the United States, Goldman Sachs, Bank of America, Wells Fargo, you know what anchors those? Real estate. I don't know if Wells Fargo has, 1 million pounds of gold sitting somewhere as an anchor. I know that they write a lot of mortgages. I know Wells Fargo writes a lot of mortgages. Real estate is tried and true, okay? You'll have some really roller coaster rides having to do with the stock market, and that's what thrills you. I get it, Hey, I like playing roulette and shooting craps myself. I understand totally that when I get up to the craps table, this is purely entertainment, okay? I used to play poker for a living. I know a lot of games. I know very few people that are winning sports bettors over the long haul, and I've never met a professional roulette player, and I've never met a professional craps player. Just haven't, okay? If they got an edge, it's because there's an imperfection in the way that the equipment was made, or they're cheating. That's all there is to it, okay? The math, the odds, all of that, there's no way for you to be a winning crap player or a winning lifetime roulette player. It just, unless Mother Nature or Lady Luck has blessed you, it ain't going to happen. So, getting back to what I'm saying is that The rich look at what's the likeliness of my investment being returned, okay? Great thing about real estate is it's always there. One of my properties burns down, guess what? I still own the property. I still got the dirt, okay? That still has value, all right? There's many people that have woke up to get a letter in the mail that says, hey, we're sorry, but the company is filing bankruptcy. You have no more value to the investment that you made. Right now, what's happening with the stock market? It's going down. So people's income, if you were relying only on dividends, that's probably not going to be the best thing in the world, so to speak. Okay?
Hey.
Tried and true is having to do with real estate. And I'm not trying to sell you on anything. I want you to get out. I want you to do something. Guess what? I set up an E-Trade account today. Okay? There's some funds that I want to start parking some money in that I have another purpose for them once I find it. And those are to go and buy some houses. Okay? So instead of me putting the money into a savings account where I'm losing money, I'm actually going to put it into something that I'm making money while it sits there. Okay? It might end up being lifelong investments there and everything. I don't know, but I can tell you this much is that my money is in action. You know, other than my rainy day money, everything I got is making money for me. Every dollar that you own is a soldier, okay? It's a soldier in the battle on poverty. And if you're not putting that soldier to war, you're losing the fight. And so many people will say things like, and I had 3 people approach me this week and say, oh man, you work too much. And it's like, you know what? I enjoy what I do. I would love to go on vacation somewhere and it be like, what you do is you go to a different town, you find a property, you negotiate it with an owner, you get it fixed up, you get it rented out. That would be an awesome vacation for me. Because that's what I enjoy doing. And somebody's like, man, are you crazy? Well, you know what? I understand that's not the way you think. You also are trying to drive for 30 extra minutes to save 7 cents a gallon. I haven't looked at the gas pump since this thing started going up. I just keep filling it and keep on driving. And when it goes to eat, then I stop and fill it back up, you know. I don't look at the price on the beef jerky or the pistachios. I just get the bag I want. You know, 5 years ago, I got the smallest bag because that's what I could afford. I want every one of you all to have an abundant, prosperous life. That's what I want. I don't want you to sit there and have to say, I can't do this because I don't have the money. I can't do this, when in reality it is, I didn't make provisions early on when I had the chance, okay? Got a lady that I know right now. She is in a long-term relationship. Guy says, hey, I'm no longer in love with you. She drives a Hummer. She's got real nice clothes, got a nice Rolex, got a 3-carat diamond ring. She's got an abusive household because she can't move. Now, I will say this. It's a choice that she makes. I offered her one of my places. She was like, I'd never live in that part of town. Okay, I get it. But he's so verbally and emotionally abusive to me and everything. No, he's not. It's not that bad, I assure you. If it was that bad, you would leave. The other thing is that if she was coaching her daughter, she would tell her, say, you ain't got to put up with that. The best thing you can do is get out of there. Don't stay for that type of abuse or anything like that. She ain't going to listen. I asked her, last weekend, she told me about having the diamond for sale and the Rolex and everything. I asked her yesterday, she said, did you get them sold? She said, no, I might have write down or something like that. I get it, okay? But it's obviously not that big of a deal because there's been 7 days that have gone by that she's taken no action on trying to better her situation. Well, guess what? Naturally, she says, I'm never going to live with another man again. Why don't you just start saying, I'm going to build a nest egg so I'm never having to be dependent on the person with gold. I'm going to be the person with gold because, folks, I'm here to tell you, the real golden rule is the one with the gold makes the rules. It's real simple. Everything that we're dependent on with somebody else, we have to do what they say. Just the same as, you know what, nobody said, let me not bring a child into this world right now because I'm worried about a baby formula shortage. Whoever saw that coming? It's happened in my part of the country. I've had friends of mine with newborns that have driven 50 miles to be able to find some. Who would have ever thought? These are crazy times that we're living in. I hope you're prepared. Exactly what it is you need to do, that I can't tell you. All I can do is to say, let's, act like the worst is coming, and that way if it does, we're prepared, and if it doesn't, then hey, we got that much better of a life. If you are in need of any type of coaching or anything like that, you want some of my time, my email is in the description. It's rentalrobertpicola@gmail.com. Be more than happy to talk with you for a little bit and everything. Anything that I can help you with, just put a question out there, I'll answer it. I hope this was good for you. I want to see y'all just keep on growing, becoming prosperous, having abundance in your life, and waking up and saying, you know what is it that I'm going to do instead of, that would be nice, but I can't afford it. Have a good day.